And the start is off in the men's varsity 8 race. Expect this to be a barn burner. 3 of these crews raced out in California last week at the San Diego Crew Classic, and all of them are going. Grand Valley just absolutely popping out of the start, up at 42 to 43. They have maybe half a seat on Michigan, who has half a seat on Notre Dame, and then Ohio State 3 or 4 seats back, Michigan State 3 seats behind them, and MSOE on the far outside. As they come into 250, what we have here is a very tight race between Michigan and Grand Valley, maybe within a seat of each other, and it looks like Grand Valley is just trying to lay it out to get out in front as they can, and Notre Dame is sticking right in there, and Ohio State is within 3 or 4 seats. This is the first 500, so we'll see where the base speed goes at this point. Grand Valley striding out nicely here into about a 34 base, and Michigan at maybe a beat higher at 35, and that's working for Michigan right now, giving them about a seat. Notre Dame also hanging right there, and Ohio State still in the hunt, bow to stern maybe with the leaders, and 3 or 4 seats up on Michigan State. The Michigan coxswain looking at the crews on both sides and asking for seats. Michigan now leading out to about 2 to 3 seats. It looks like they've just taken a lift and are starting to move a little bit on Notre Dame and Grand Valley. You can see a great race coming through here. Ohio State still hanging in there, and Michigan State hanging on them, MSOE in there. But really, it's this enormous race between Michigan, Grand Valley, and Notre Dame. All 3 of them finalist potential at the ACRA Championship. The Michigan move has worked to get them a few seats. It seems though that now coming through, Notre Dame is responding to the crowd and is starting to move. Their rating, let me check it, is up at 37. They're just starting to go to try and get back into this race, and they've given them a seat maybe over Grand Valley. It'll be a question to see if they can hold that rating further, if it was just a flutter or whether it was a lift in base speed. Grand Valley has gotten up to about a 36, and those 2 crews really absolutely dead even, Grand Valley and Notre Dame. Michigan sitting about 4 or 5 seats up, and that race between Notre Dame and Grand Valley just keeps pushing those 2 crews back up. Michigan about a beat under the other 2, and we'll see what happens. This is going to be a great race all the way to the finish. Those 3 crews have absolutely separated themselves now from Ohio State, who is a length up on Michigan State, who is even almost with MSOE. And the race at the varsity level is just flying here. Michigan now up to about 6 seats, but absolutely all 3 crews in there as we come into the last 1,000. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sorry, it's 750 with 750 to go. The Notre Dame rating has come back down a little bit from the stratosphere, but it's cleaned their blade work up, and they seem to have taken a seat or 2 over Grand Valley. It was the other way around last weekend out in California, with Grand Valley beating Notre Dame in the Cal Cup at the San Diego Crew Classic, and so it'll be interesting to see how this race goes. Michigan keeps inching out, but the hard racing from Notre Dame and Grand Valley keeps them in contact. With 500 meters to go, Michigan is now bow to stern on the other 2 crews, who are absolutely within a seat of each other. Notre Dame laying it out harder, and Grand Valley a little bit more composed. The water's just a little choppy here in the last 1,000. Grand Valley starting to sprint up a little bit, trying to move back into Michigan and not letting Michigan get away about astern. And we'll see what kind of a sprint they have, because they're already going now with 400 meters to go. They're popping their rating to try and get back into Michigan, and they maybe have a seat or two that they've been able to do that with. But it's still Michigan out in front, pushing very nice and strongly. 250 meters to go at a 36. They're about astern on Notre Dame, and maybe Grand Valley a seat up. It's hard to tell from this angle where that is, but those three crews having just rode away from the rest of the field. It looks to me now like it's Michigan 5 to 6 seats up on Grand Valley, who's charging with a very high rating, and Notre Dame about 2 seats behind that. But really, I can't tell for sure. Michigan now throwing a sprint in and trying to get away. Notre Dame trying to sprint back in. It will be overlapped, all three crews as they come. Michigan controlling into the finish, and they will win this race, but not by much, maybe 6 seats. And it seems to be Grand Valley and Notre Dame. I couldn't tell. It's going to have to be the officials who call the second place there. But a great race by those three boats. And now another race coming across the finish as Ohio State will take fourth, about half a length of open ahead of Michigan State, who's half a length of open ahead of MSOE. All 6 crews now across the line. A really, really great race there for the early season among those 3 crews. It'll be interesting to see what happens later at the Accra Championships.